I was gonna say Furry Friday.
It is not.
It is
Friday.
not Friday.
It's not
no.
Friday.
Welcome to Wednesday, our second Hop University course. Oh my gosh, we're so excited for number 2. I think number 1 went really good. Our Raw Feeding 101 course,
Yes.
which is still available. If anybody wanted to go watch it, it's up on our YouTube channel. We have a Hop University playlist. TikTok is already yelling at us. Don't remind me.
Too much memory.
Don't remind me again. Sorry, I'm shaking the. There we go.
Just having an earthquake.
Sorry about that, TikTok, if you're getting any motion sickness from that. But yeah, if you want to go check out our last Hop University course on raw feeding, it's all on YouTube. We've got a playlist up there. And then all of these videos will also be uploaded so you won't miss any Hop University content. We are running a tiny bit late. We hope to start at 2 on the dot every day. We're pretty close.
It's only 2:03. We're doing good. I'm proud of us.
I am also very proud of us.
If you see us looking that way, it's because we are in a different spot than we usually
Yes.
are. And so we're looking at the door because we're expecting an order today, and it apparently is gonna come right while we're live, because that's how things like to work.
Yeah, I mean when we're working, something always seems to go amiss, and this will be one of them. So if one of us has to run away from our Hop University session today, well, that is probably why.
Yeah.
So we'd like to just start with some housekeeping stuff to begin with. First up, this weekend, this Saturday, we are having our Mommy and Me Doggy Party event. We are so excited, you guys, to be celebrating Mother's Day for the dog moms of Regina. So if you're in Regina, Saskatchewan, which is where we are located, we are pre-selling tickets right now to come to the Mommy and Me Doggy Party event. We're having another local business come into the store. Cranky Leprechaun is going to be making some one-of-a-kind mugs just for you and your pup. We're going to have goodie bags for your dogs worth $25. We are going to be doing some puppy painting. There will be snacks for you and your pup. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so much fun. I am so excited about it.
We will be there.
We will.
And Olivia will be there. So if you haven't seen Olivia in a very long time, it's because she's busy. So hopefully, if you guys want to see Olivia, she will also be here on Saturday with the 2 of us. So it'll be a very fun party.
Yes.
We'll be having so much fun.
They said it's alive on a Wednesday. What a treat!
Ah, what a treat! I know.
We really just like any chance to go live.
Yeah.
Lee and I just like to talk about stuff. We just like to talk.
We
Really.
just like to talk. We like to have fun. So if you like to talk and you like to have fun, grab your Mommy and Me Doggy Party tickets online right now. You can go onto our website. Those tickets are available until tomorrow, so you have today and tomorrow to grab your ticket for the event. If you are in Regina, Saskatchewan, we would love to have you. We're going to have a really great time on Saturday. And if you aren't coming to the event and you still want to pop by and say hi, pop by and say hi.
Yeah.
We're here to say hello.
We like to say hi to everyone.
Next up,
the most exciting
thing. All of a sudden, our eyes are lit up. We're so
Oh my
excited.
God.
We have a new freezer. Oh my gosh.
Who gets excited about freezers? We
do. It rolled in yesterday. We have a post on Instagram showing the pictures of the freezer being rolled in. It just fit through the front door. It was very close, but it worked. Everything's good. It is sitting in the back right now because freezers have to sit because the refrigerant or some dumb stuff. So it's sitting empty and not cold right now, but hopefully on Friday, fingers crossed, it will be full of some brand new fresh food goodies for the pets. On IG, we are having, you can guess
what the new products are. We hinted to a couple little things on there. But yeah, head over to Instagram or it's on Facebook too?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
It's on Facebook too. And take a guess on what we're bringing in. We are so super excited about it. I am trying so hard not to just spill the beans on.
I know.
What it is, 'cause I am so excited.
And I'm always bad for that. I'm sure Carly's watching very intently because I'm always spilling the beans early. My lips are sealed. I will not be spilling the beans on this one.
I trust you're not going to spill the beans.
Thank you. You can't trust that I know what day it is, but I will not spoil the beans today on what's going on. But we were so excited. Olivia and Bailey weren't working yesterday, and they showed up to see the freezer.
We did.
So
We did. We came in on our day off to see the new freezer because we were that excited about a freezer.
what a freezer.
Who knew? Who knew freezers could be so exciting?
Mushrooms, freezers, all those things are just so exciting for us, and we love them. Last up on our housekeeping docket is Bright Eyes Rescue will be here Saturday, May 27th from 12 to 3 with puppies ready for adoption. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'm going to try not to take any of them home. It's
You-
going to be a solid effort.
You
To not.
successfully didn't take any puppies home when CC Rescue was here.
I know,
so
I was pretty proud of myself because my
job.
husband would be like, get out with you and our 800 dogs.
4 dogs and a kid, easy.
Easy.
If you also think easy peasy, come and get a puppy. Adopt a puppy. Are you interested in fostering? That's also an option. Come by, see the puppers, talk with some of the people from Bright Eyes Rescue, and get all of the lowdown on everything that they need, donations, fostering. Every little bit counts toward those local rescues, and we're really excited to be supporting Bright Eyes on Saturday, May 27th from 12 till 3. We hope that you guys will show up and come out and see the puppers and get some more information on a local rescue that's really important to all of us. So.
Even just come to give the puppy some love.
Yes.
Who doesn't love puppy snuggles?
Right?
Puppy snuggles are the best.
It might be hard to give the puppy snuggles when Bailey and I have them like in our arms, in the back. But
Yeah.
we will give up some puppy snuggles to people who want to stop by.
I walked around 80% of the day when CC Rescues was here with a puppy in my arms.
You really did. It's like, should I get pictures or should I hold the pup?
Yeah,
I'll hold the pup.
This is my puppy now.
So yeah.
Yeah. We are excited for Hop U number 2.
Hop you number 2.
It is National Pet Anxiety Awareness Week. Something that I am very passionate about because I have a very anxious dog at home. So we are really excited to be talking about pet anxiety and all of the stuff that goes along with it this week.
Yep.
Lee, I'm sure, is going to want to talk about the workbook because Lee loves a good workbook.
Oh, I love a good workbook. Whoever, I don't know whose idea it was to have a workbook for Hop University, but I'm in love and I love it. And I love making it. I love printing it off. I love showing it to everyone.
The only thing that would make it better is if you could laminate it.
Oh my gosh, if it was laminated, don't tell Carly, okay? But I might be laminating the workbook. No,
She loves nothing more than to laminate everything that she can laminate in the store.
yeah. Oh yeah, laminating is so much fun.
No.
But that might make it difficult to work through.
Oh, Carly said it was her idea for the workbook.
Oh,
so
well, good job, Carly. Is it also your idea that I should laminate it? Or yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. I think that she says yes, laminate it.
No, you're not. Damn. Damn. Okay, well, fine. I won't laminate it, but if you have a laminator at home, you could laminate yours. But there is the Pet Anxiety Workbook, which you can download for free online if you go to the website and look up. At the bottom of our homepage, we have Hop U. You can go in there and see all of our Hop U topics. Go into Pet Anxiety, click Get Your Workbook here, and voila. You have a PDF of the workbook, which takes you through day 1, 2, and 3 of our university session, and then some notes and questions so that you can keep things written down for Friday, which we will have a lot of time at the end set aside for Q&A as usual. In case you guys have any questions, you can keep them in the back here so that you don't forget.
Kathleen says she'll laminate a copy for you.
Oh my gosh! You laminate one? Oh my gosh! I can't be fired that way because it's not
You're
me.
not laminating
I'm not
it.
laminating it. I'll just I'll just have it magically.
Yay for Lee not getting fired today.
Yes. Oh, what a success.
It's a good day.
No firing today. So, print off your workbook and you can write out by hand if you'd like. You can have it on your PDF viewer and fill in the information. However would work best for you. It's a great tool to jot notes of everything that we talk about. But if you do forget or you want some extra clarification, we will be downloading the video and uploading it onto our YouTube channel. So you won't miss anything. Don't worry about like writing vigorously to get down all the information. It'll be available for you.
Carly said to...
Don't encourage her.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Okay,
We're going to stop talking about laminating. We've gotten very off track.
we have gotten very off track.
Today is understanding pet anxiety.
Yes.
We're going to go through a whole bunch of different things. We will give you some examples. I will probably talk about Tucker because he is my anxious lump of dog whom I love very much. But I will probably talk about some examples of things that we have gone through with him. Tomorrow we are going to talk about identifying that anxiety, which can be pretty helpful to people if you don't know what to be looking for in terms of anxiety for your pet. We're going to talk about identifying that, and then Friday we will talk about managing that anxiety, and then as Lee said, we will have that Q&A time for if you have any questions.
Yeah. So today,
We're just gonna
jump right in
now.
to what is pet anxiety. Well, it's just that. It's anxiety that our pets are feeling, and it's often overlooked in pets. We talk about anxiety a lot in humans, all the different things that cause anxiety, how to manage our anxiety, but those same things may apply to your kitty or puppy at home. Pet anxiety, we hear a lot of people come into the store with their pets talking about, oh, my pet has difficulty with this, or my pet is stressed about this. So we want to give you a good understanding of what pet anxiety is, kind of a broad stroke view today of what we're talking about when we say pet anxiety or pet stress. Just like us, pet anxiety has a trigger. So if something anxiety inducing happens, that could be an obvious trigger like thunderstorms. Like thunder, that could be super obvious. Causes a stress response in our pets where their brains are telling them, watch out, fear, be scared, go into fight, flight, or freeze. Prepare yourself for that fear. And that's what we see, those stress expressions. Those symptoms, which we will talk about identifying tomorrow, how they express that. So we've got a trigger, the body responds, and we have a stress expression that we can typically visually see in our pets. Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult, especially with pets like cats who internalize their fear and internalize their pain. It can be really hard to identify those things, but we will give you some tips and tricks and help you kind of navigate that. So, examples of pet stress. So we're talking about kind of not an allegory, a synonym. We're talking humans and pets being similar. If we have a small stress trigger, for us would be like losing our keys. We wake up, we go to leave the house, and oh my gosh, I don't have my car keys. I have no idea where they are. That's a small trigger, which would be similar to the doorbell ringing, and your dog goes, oh my gosh, someone's here. That's kind of a similar intensity of stress. And humans and pets can have larger stressors, like our car breaking down. That can be a lot more stressful. And maybe for your pet, that would be like you leaving the house for the work day. Maybe you're gone for 8 hours a day, and that's more than just easy, quick, oh, the doorbell rang. It's a much more elaborate, intensive trigger for our pets. So that brings us to two different types of stress, acute and chronic. So again, talked a lot about when we talk about human stressors, acute being a very short-lived kind of snap of the fingers trigger, like the ringing of the doorbell. Doorbell rings, there's a stress, and it's immediately resolved. Then we have chronic stress, which is a long-lasting, constant stress in our pets. So when we leave the house for 8 hours, that's 8 hours of stress. That's a chronic stress response, and then that typically can lead to things like separation anxiety, where that anxiety continues even after you come home because of the fear that you're going to be walking out again. Oh, tomorrow this is going to happen again. They're going to leave for 8 hours. Are they going to come back? So that's a chronic stressor. Chronic is sometimes a little bit more difficult to identify and to perceive, because when Tucker, here's Thunder, we can know Thunder, Tucker is stress.
Stress.
Yeah.
Always. Always.
Poor
Every
guy.
time.
Oh my gosh.
Every time there is a thunderstorm, Tucker thinks that he is a lap dog.
Oh.
Tucker is 75 pounds. He will sit on my lap. He wants me to hold him. It's fine. I love him. I will do that for him. It's not great when it's like 30 degrees outside and then I am like dripping sweat because a 75-pound dog is sitting on my lap and needs me to hold him like a baby. But I will do it for him because I love him. But that's something that I identified as a trigger for him.
Yeah.
And now we identified it and now we learn how to manage it.
Yeah.
So all things that we're going to go through this week.
So more secrets. We
Yes.
won't be spilling the beans. That's the theme of today.
Today, no
don't
spilling
spill
the
the beans.
No spilling the beans.
So we got a chronic versus acute stress, but we can think about triggers kind of equally. Not equally, but a trigger can be associated with either or. Triggers can often be like really easy to be like, oh yeah, that's a stress trigger. Obviously, thunder is super scary. Or ringing the doorbell, duh, that's super scary. But there are some things that maybe you might not know could be a trigger for your pet. So number one are loud noises. Super easy. Thunder, fireworks,
Construction.
that's a really good one. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry for TikTok as I'm shaking you once again. There we go.
Earthquake again.
Earthquake again. Earthquake in Saskatchewan, not so much. Construction in Saskatchewan every single day.
All the time.
The snow has melted and the pylons are up.
We live in a newer area of the city, and so there is houses being built behind us, and man, that is some stressful stuff in our house.
I can only imagine Tucker right now, and I'm sending
him all
the love. I'm so sorry, Tucker. Oh my god.
He's just a ball of stress all the time. I feel so bad for him.
So yeah, and our pets have a heightened sense of smell, and they have way better hearing than us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they hear, and they can feel vibrations in the earth better than we can. So if someone's digging a basement, we might not notice it, but our pets can likely notice that somebody's digging a basement next door. My family just got a sound system with a little like boom box thing. And they set it up for the first time, and they were trying the bass out, and all of a sudden, my sister's dog Dixie is like barking and barking and barking and running around and like super stressed out, like insane stress, and we couldn't figure out what the trigger was. Turns out the bass in the floor was super scary, and we felt so bad because we were like, "What are you doing? Why are you barking? What's going on?"
Poor baby.
So same with construction, all those vibrations, digging in the dirt, hammering, all those super fun construction things. Can definitely be stressful.
And since we're on TikTok, there are people watching who live in the States in places where there are earthquakes.
Yep.
Dogs can sense stuff like that. So if your dog starts getting super stressed out and super anxious, listen to them.
Yeah.
Listen to your dogs. They know when things are happening.
Yep.
They're way smarter than we give them credit for.
Oh, definitely.
So listen to your dogs. If they're super stressed out about something, don't just sort of stop doing that, fluff them off. Listen to them. Try and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. That kind of brings me into a little tangent that I kind of wanted to work in a little bit, where pet anxiety is often seen as like, that's just my dog. Oh, my dog just yaps at everything. Or, oh, my cat always is peeing on the baseboards. Or, I can't get my cat to stop scratching on the sofa. All these things we sometimes say, oh, it's just
Bad behavior.
bad behavior. Oh, my cat hates me. Why are they going to the bathroom on the carpet. Oh, it's so spiteful. But those are signs that your pet is stressed. I don't think any pet wants to be going to the bathroom in a place where they spend most of their time. The living room carpet, I'm sure to them isn't exciting when they have to dodge around an accident. So these things are indicators of stress, and finding that trigger is the tricky part, but blaming our pets shouldn't be our first go-to. Our first go-to should be, what's going on? Let's ask some questions. Let's do some investigating.
Yes, let's investigate. Let's sniff-vestigate.
Sniff-vestigate. Oh my goodness.
That's also something fun that's coming.
Yeah. You just wait. I'm really holding back
we're
here.
Just hinting
Carly,
at all
maybe
of the things
maybe
today.
a gold star for holding back, maybe? No.
You get not fired today.
Not fired. That's the gold star. Number 2 is punishment-based training. So don't want to get too into any of that or get into any of the controversiality, if that's a word, of it all. But we're talking about like hitting, yelling, using a spray bottle with your cat. All those things are stressful for them and can cause your pets to have an adverse reaction.
It's just Carly. She said there's a first time for everything.
So those kinds of things. I mean, lots of people use spray bottles with their cats to spritz them with water, but that's not necessarily recommended, as that creates a negative association with you and your cat. Creates a very negative association with the spray bottle, that anytime you bring the spray bottle out, now your cat all of a sudden is like, oh, I'm behaving. Well, that's a stress response. They're adapting to that trigger.
We're not dealing with any of the issues.
Yes.
We're just sort of putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yes, definitely. And the hitting and yelling and things and horrible punishments for your pet, we will get to in a little bit when we talk about pet history. But yeah, so those are number 2 of some really stressful things.
Carly says, and they learn to hate water.
Yes, they also learn to hate water because they don't understand that spray bottle is a deterrent. They understand that spray bottle as scary, as fear, as something to be afraid of, not as, oh, this is the consequence of stepping on the counter. This is the consequence of being in my home, and that's not necessarily a very good thing. We want our pets to be happy and free in their spaces that they roam.
Yep.
Number 3 is unwanted attention. So this one can be kind of tricky, especially to suss out. From personal experience, I know cats are very vocal about when they're getting too much attention. If you've ever been like petting a cat, and all of a sudden they're biting you. Maybe they're saying, hey, whoa, that's enough love for today. That could be unwanted attention causing a bit of stress.
That happened to me yesterday.
And we just want to really love up on our kitties, but sometimes, or if you pet the wrong spot, like I'll be petting my cat and he loves getting the butt scratches, and then all of a sudden he'll like dive out of the way and he'll go, I'll be like, okay.
I was petting this cat yesterday. It jumped up on my lap. It was asking for pets. And I'm petting it and loving it, and all of a sudden, it bit me. I was like, okay, sorry. No more love.
But then I can't really talk much on this, but kids going to pets, not knowing boundaries as well when they're little kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm probably small enough to ride that dog, whether or not that dog is a horse or not.
We called it. The order's here.
The order is here.
I will be back, and when I come back, I will talk about kids and dogs.
Thank you, Bailey, for taking that off of my plate, so I don't have to be stressed about having that kind of conversation. But yeah, so unwanted attention can be walking right up to a pet. Lots of pets get super anxious, and they, make sense that if somebody's walking straight up to them, hand outstretched, that's very dominant body language. This can be very scary. So those kinds of things can be triggers. Maybe we might not originally think, oh, every time my my friend comes over, my pet gets stressed. Maybe it's just the way that relationship gets approached. Number 4, I have strange environment or strange people. So strange environment could be like going to the daycare, going to a new park, visiting a friend's place. Maybe you're on vacation and you take your pet to a friend's house for them to look after. Those all things can be triggers, can be scary, especially when we get into the history stuff. If your pet maybe has a history, if they've been fostered many times, or they've been adopted and then whatever the term is for giving up, they've been adopted and then rehomed, maybe is the word I'm looking for. It'll come to me. I'm sure Bailey knows what word I'm talking about.
What?
When you adopt and then you give away, but you
surrender?
Surrender. Oh my gosh. So why did Bailey leave? Then I'm here floundering. Especially if they've been adopted and surrendered and adopted and surrendered. I have surrendered. Thank you, everyone. Everyone's got my back. Thank you. Surrendered. That can be super stressful, and then we're sending them off with a friend for vacation, and that brings up all of that history, all of that stress, all of that worry and fear that what's happened to them as a constant throughout their life is re-happening. It's coming up again. So that can be really scary. Strange people. Maybe you're having someone new over to your house. Maybe you're having renovations in your house and you've got construction people coming in, or you had a leak in or a flood in your basement and you have people coming to do something with that. Any amount of strangeness can sometimes be really stressful. We do have the pups who love strangers, who love all the new people, who could care less who's giving them pets as long as somebody's giving them pets. But I know my cats hate when new people come into the house and they're unprepared. We recently had some unfortunate leaking in our roof, and we had people coming in and out of the house, and I ended up putting them both into their crates and keeping them with me in a separate room so that we could be in a nice safe space. Having that door open and shut was super stressful for my kitties, who generally think that the house is 100% theirs and they are the rulers of the roost. So stuff like that can be scary. And finally, changes to your household. These are typically the most common ones that people I easily identify by themselves. I moved to a new place, a new city, a new town, or just a new house, and my pet doesn't know what to do. They're more anxious than they've ever been. Or I just had a new baby, and I'm introducing that baby now into my home, and my pet's freaked out. What's going on? Or I introduced a new puppy into my house, and we just adopted another pet. That can be scary. Or, which Bailey will also be talking about, maybe a puppy has passed away in the household and now you're missing a pup in your house, or maybe you were living with somebody who had a pet and they were best friends, and then the two of you split and separated ways, and now this bond between pets has been severed, and that can also be super, super stressful for our pets. Lots of these that we talk about are super easy to identify. Lots of them are acute stressors, like thunderstorms, like doorbell ringings, like a stranger coming over. All those things, super easy to pinpoint. We know, oh, my pet only gets scared when the mailman knocks on the door or the doorbell rings. That we can easily identify. We know that when the doorbell stops ringing, the anxiety goes away, and that's awesome. We will talk a little bit tomorrow about identifying the anxiety expression that might be associated with that trigger, but that will be tomorrow. Once again, I'm not spilling the beans, keeping it on the down low until tomorrow. So I wanted to talk about history in regards to chronic triggers or difficult to identify triggers. When we think about ourselves and our own stress and our own anxiety, we often think about our lives and what's happened in them. Do we have anxiety for new places just because, or did something happen that now we're anxious about? Maybe I'm terrified of bales because one time I fell off a bale and I really hurt myself. That could or could not be a stress in my life. Let me know if you think that's true or false. It's true. we would look at things in our lives. Bailey's laughing at me
Sorry.
from across the room, and
I apologize. I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny.
I forgive her. It's okay. I need her later on in the live to update you guys on all the other information. So, not fired. Also, very much still employed.
Thank you.
So we would look back at our own lives and the triggering things that have happened to us or the stressful things that have happened to us, and we think about our lives right now. Oh, I might be, this might be a trigger for me because this might be a trigger for me because that. Same with our pets. We want to look at their history. Their history is super important. Where they started, what's happened in their lives, what's going on right now in their lives. That's all super important. We can think about things like, were they adopted? Were they rescued? Or were they from a breeder? If they were adopted, how old were they when they were adopted? If they were rescued, where were they rescued from? Were they seized from a unsafe environment? Were they rescued off of the streets? Maybe they were a stray that got taken in. Was their litter taken off of the streets? Or were they born in a rescue center? All of these things can definitely contribute to how they interact with the world and all the stressors that they experience now. Things like, if they were seized, maybe, and then put up for adoption, where were they seized from? Were they in a unsafe environment? The pallet jack. What a noisy machine. Sorry about that. Hopefully no more pallet jacks will be interrupting us. Where was I? Seized from an unsafe environment. What does that mean? Does that mean that they were possibly abused? Maybe they were hit, or they had some of those negative punishment pieces in their past life experiences that now they're afraid of that. Even if we're a really, really loving, happy, positive home, those things are carried with them. They might still be afraid of those kinds of things. That's when we get a lot of people who come in and say, oh, my pet is just super scared of men. Those gender expressions of certain people might be triggering, or age groups. Maybe they have been chased down the street by kids looking to pet them and love them, or maybe they were from a home where kids were picking them up and now they're terrified of kids. So all of those different things can have an impact, and that all comes from their history. Bailey,
I'm back.
Is back with us.
That was a whole debacle.
The pallet is here, so that's exciting. If we were out of something that you wanted.
They wanted to leave it in the parking lot.
Oh.
Because they couldn't find a parking spot.
Well, never mind. I am never going to complain about a pallet jack ever again. I'm very happy that pallet jack came into the store. But yeah, if we were missing something that we were out of stock of, hopefully
Hopefully it's here.
Hopefully it's here and we were back in stock. But we were talking about history, about abandonment, food scarcity, kind of the different histories that your pet might contribute to or be a help for us when identifying those things.
Yep.
But if we could circle back.
Yes.
And back up a little bit to common triggers and kind of talk about unwanted attention in regards to kids loving up on our pets.
So, I have a 2-year-old at home, and she
Is innocent.
she loves the dogs
Yes.
so much, but she doesn't realize how rough she is. Our golden retriever loves it. He loves that she's rough. He loves that she just wants to lay on top of him. He loves that she loves him. Our Yorkie, not so much. He wants nothing to do with it. He does not want her to pick him up. He does not want her to touch him.
Poor Ace.
She moves too fast, and it scares the bejesus out of him. And same with Tucker. Tucker gets very stressed out when she moves too quickly.
He's the stressful pup.
He's our stressed pup. He gets very anxious because she moves too fast. She's not very gentle. But if you have a kid in your home, the best thing you can do, as soon as they're old enough that they're touching your dogs, you need to make sure that you are teaching them to be gentle. Gentle is something that we work on in our house all the time. If we are not being gentle with the dogs, we are going to be moved away from the dogs. a lot of people in situations where they have new children in the house, everything that happens is the dog's fault. It's always the dog did something wrong. I know that if Tucker nips at my daughter's hand, he warns her ahead of time, like, you need to stop touching me, you need to leave me alone, I don't want any of this attention, and we remove her from the situation, or we remove him from the situation. Definitely always make sure that if you have a dog that you know has never been around kids before, that you are not leaving your child and your dog alone together. You are watching their interactions. You are monitoring what's going on. You are watching for any sort of signs that your dog is giving that they're unhappy or they don't like what's going on or they're stressed or anything like that. And you will be able to tell. Tucker, when he wants Charlie to stop touching him, he starts grumping. He doesn't growl, he just sort of like, And we know now that's time to move both of them out of the situation, give Tucker some time by himself, give Charlie some time not to be with Tucker. But every dog is so different. Yeah. Sam, like I said, our golden retriever Sam, he loves all the love. He doesn't care where it's coming from. My husband pets him with his foot, and Sam thinks it's like the greatest thing in the entire world.
That golden retriever energy is just, it's just unmet.
Sam just loves the love. Tucker is a little bit more anxious about people touching him. He needs to be the one to approach you for the attention, and he will let you know when he is done. When he is done with the pets, he's done with the love, he will tell you. So if you have kids at home, definitely just be monitoring the situations with your dogs and your kids. Don't be leaving them alone together. I know sometimes that's hard as a parent, believe me, I totally get it. Sometimes there's times that you're like, I really just need to pee. I just need 1 second by myself. But easier said than done. So that's just something to always keep in mind. I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, as a parent, I know that it's hard. We just need to be monitoring situations, and we just need to make sure that we are not pushing our dog's boundaries. Also, change in household. This is another one that I can talk about.
Yes, please.
So, I am from Ontario, and my husband is born and raised in Saskatchewan. And
woo, Saskatchewan.
And when we got together, we made the decision that living here was a more cost-appropriate option than living in Toronto, because it is very expensive to live in Toronto. And so when I moved, I brought Tucker with me because Tucker was my dog. Sam, our golden retriever, was my brother's dog, and so Sam stayed in Ontario and Tucker came with me. Tucker and Sam had been together since they were puppies. We got them probably 2 weeks apart from each other, so they were super close. They spent all of their time together, and when I moved and took Tucker away, Tucker was very anxious about now being by himself. Yes, he had Ace. We love Ace, but Ace doesn't love other dogs so much, and so Tucker and Ace were not instantly best friends. And so it was a lot of stress on Tucker, bringing him into a situation where he now was not with his best friend anymore, and he was sad. And Sam and Tucker are now back together. My mom lives here with Sam, and Sam and Tucker now live together, and they are so happy. They have each other back, but taking dogs apart can be super stressful situations, and it's not things that we generally think about. We don't think about our pets' mental health. We don't think about situations that could potentially be stressful for them. But if they have lived in one place their whole life and you're moving somewhere else, it can be really stressful for them. If they've always had another dog around and now all of a sudden they don't have that other dog around, again, it can be super stressful for them. It's the same if you have a pet, 2 pets, and one of your pets passes away. Not having that other animal around can be very stressful for them. And so it's just stuff that we don't generally think about, that we think, oh, they'll be fine, they're just a dog or they're just a cat. But our pets have feelings, and we need to respect that and understand that and sort of listen to what they're saying to us. Tucker has never been as happy as he is now that Sam is back in his life and he gets to be with Sam all the time. They are just the best of buds. And so it's just really sort of watching what's going on with your pets and listening to them and making sure that they're happy. Oh, Lee's running.
I'm back. I thought about cutting over the screen again, but I've done that multiple times, so I decided to go around, but then I had to go fast.
It was a whole thing.
It was a whole
thing. Okay, I talked about all my stuff and things.
Thank you. I guess last we really just wanted to talk about why it's important to understand pet anxiety. Why are we doing this Hop U session? Why do we care so much? Why is there a whole National Pet Anxiety Week dedicated to pet anxiety? I think Bailey just said that we care about them.
Yeah. And every dog is going to express their anxiety differently. So some dogs will express their anxiety as aggression. And so if we can know what those triggers are or sort of what's going on with them, we can help make sure that we're not just saying, oh, this is an aggressive dog and they need to be put down or we need to rehome them. There's so many things that we can do to not rehome our pets, or not just say that they're aggressive and we need to put them down. Again, poor Tucker. I'm just gonna keep on going back to Tucker. Poor guy. There was a time when Charlie first started crawling and Tucker was so upset that I easily could have been like, you know what, we need to rehome Tucker. Like, he's gonna bite the baby. This is awful. We can't have him in this house anymore. But we sat down, we found out what his triggers were, and we found out how to deal with it. We figured out how to remove those stressful situations, remove him from the stressful situations, and now everyone is fine. You just need to figure out what that trigger is, how you're gonna identify it, how you're gonna manage it, and it's all stuff that we're gonna talk about this week.
Yes, I have. Claudia says this is so true. Bentley got anxiety after their dog passed away. Yeah, they're very difficult things for us to work through, and they're also difficult for our pets to work through.
And again, it's not things that we think about. So, we're gonna get personal for a second. So, Sam was my brother's dog. Sam and my brother were really, really, really close. The end of 2020, my brother passed away, and Sam was devastated. People don't think about dogs' mental health. Sam was traumatized. Sam was devastated. My brother was his best friend. It was super hard on him to lose him.
Yeah.
And people don't necessarily think of those things as something that could then trigger anxiety in your dog. But losing a family member is something that can trigger anxiety in yourself. So why wouldn't it trigger anxiety in our pets, especially if it's someone who they're really close with, someone who they love, someone who they have bonded with. That is 100% a situation that can trigger anxiety in our pets.
Yeah, that goes back to history too, right? When we're thinking about our pet's history, those are really crucial life events that they've gone through that we want to be aware of. We want to have in the back of our mind while we're going through this course, while we're watching them, while we're trying to help them, have those things in the back of mind. We hear a lot about pet parents who come in and they've been inherited a pet from a past loved one. Maybe it's their mom or dad's pet and they have passed away and now it's they've taken on the responsibility of that pet. So all of those different things keep in the back of our mind. remember that those are things that affect us and they affect them.
And it doesn't have to be these big, huge, monumental moments that can cause anxiety. It can be something as small as they were at the vet and the vet was cutting, not the vet, they were at the groomers, and the groomer clipped their foot while they were grooming them, or cut their nail too short. They now have a negative association with that, and it's going to cause anxiety every time they go to the groomer because they're going to remember those situations.
Yep.
Again, it goes back to it's the same sort of things with us. My daughter remembers that when we go to the doctors, she gets needles sometimes, and so every time we go to the doctor's office, it is instant tears, even if we are not getting a needle.
Yep.
And so our dogs, people don't think about how similar our dogs are to us in the way we can create those negative associations with things. Our pets can do that too.
Yep, definitely.
The lawyers in the background.
This is a great place to be. Then we have all the pups in the back. Another thing about another component of the why is it has effects on your pet's health. And at House of Paws, we are all about extending the lives of pets through nutrition. We're all about the health and longevity of our pets, and stress, just like for us, affects our health. It affects our life expectancy. It affects very much so our gut. And we talk a lot about gut health. The gut is where the immunity starts. The gut is where we basically start whenever we talk with somebody about what's going on with your pet. We ask things like, what are we feeding? How are we supporting the gut? And stress is one of those things that heavily affects the gut. To get a little bit deep divey again. So if you were here for the mushroom thing, buckle up, get ready for some more deep dives. So norepinephrine is a neurotransmitter that the brain releases whenever we are confronted with one of those triggers. That norepinephrine tells the body that we need to halt all unnecessary bodily functionings because our main focus needs to be on that trigger. We need to be prepared to fight, flight, or freeze, which freeze is a newly added F in the fight and flight response. So the gut is not a necessary thing when we are in the midst of running away from a predator, or I don't know what else.
We're just scared.
When we're scared, we don't have to worry about digesting our food that day, because that's not the most important thing that our brain has thought of. Our brain has thought of survival and keeping our bodies intact. And that can, for the gut in the short term, could mean a stopping of the gut or an emergency exit of the gut.
Boyer, I apologize that we are going to air your dirty laundry right now.
We're so sorry. We love you.
So, Boyer and Sam, they are friends.
Yes.
I just want to clarify. Boyer and Sam are friends.
Yes.
But Sam was here one day while Boyer was here, and Boyer would not stay out of Sam's business.
Boyer's a very physically affectionate dog.
Boyer likes to sniff the parts.
Yeah.
And so Boyer would not stop sniffing Sam's parts, and Sam warned him that he had had enough. He grumped at him. And so they were in the back, and Boyer sniffed his business, and Sam had had enough, and Sam turned and growled at him quite loud, and Boyer had nowhere to run because he was underneath the swivel chair, and Boyer pooped his pants because he was scared.
Yeah.
And so that's something that can happen if our pets are frightened enough. That is something that can happen.
Yeah.
It's not anything to be like, oh my God, there's something wrong with them. It's just something that can happen when they're super, super, super scared.
Yeah. And that's kind of the short-term effects. And long-term can be very detrimental for the gut when our body is always telling our gut, stop, start, go, whoa, ah. All of those noises. That can be very our gut that, I mean, in humans, lots of us go to the doctor saying I've got stomach issues, and a lot of the time it's stress-based stomach issues. So same with our pets, that prolonged stress, that chronic stress, very detrimental to the health, and it can't be good. When we're afraid all the time, I would not want that for my pet, to be afraid constantly.
I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed out, it feels like there's like a lump in my stomach. And you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink, you just feel like on the edge at all times. And it's not anything different for our pets. They feel that stress. Our dogs can feel when we're stressed, and that can stress them out. So then it's just this awful circle of stress for everyone involved.
So that sucks.
It's not great. It's not great for anyone.
But yeah, we just want everyone to know that we care about your pets, we care about our pets, and we have lots of pet parents out there who are stressed out because their pet is stressed out, and maybe you're caught in that cycle right now where everyone's stressed all the time about everything. Hopefully some of the information that we bring you during this Hop You session will be helpful. Hopefully maybe you've learned of some triggers that you hadn't thought of before that you can evaluate with your own pet. That is some homework, which we didn't give out homework last time, which was super unrealistic.
But we're like
now
down the law.
You have homework. This is true university. 90% of your life is homework now. So
can stress be transferred from one dog to another?
Oh, yes.
Of course, if one dog is stressed out, so, example from my household.
Oh, poor Tucker and Sam.
Poor Tucker and Sam.
Oh, no.
Sam has never been scared of thunderstorms, ever. He is just a chill guy. He's just laid back. He just sleeps through most of the things that happen. But since he has realized that Tucker gets stressed out from thunderstorms, Sam now also gets stressed out from thunderstorms. So Sam sits here and pants in my face, and Tucker sits on my lap and pants in my face, and they're both stressed out about thunderstorms. So 100%, if one of your dogs is stressed, it can totally lead to your other dog being stressed as well. Yep. They can pick up on each other's emotions, and it's definitely something that can happen. It happens in my house. Yep. So it is not, if you have one dog that is the stressed out one all of the time, don't think that your other dog isn't going to pick up on that. It can 100% happen. You can end up with multiple stressed dogs.
Oh, definitely. When my sister was living with me and she had her dog Dixie and I had my cat Alex, if Dixie was stressed, I knew it because Alex was always in zoomy mode. If Dixie was like, there's someone outside, Alex would be like jumping over Dixie and running in front of the window and then running off the window and then running around the house and looking at that window. I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to take a chill pill because I'm pretty sure the mail was just delivered and the mailman
is stressful.
And
okay,
they're gone now. They were just there to drop off a letter for me. I think we're good.
Have you seen cartoons?
That's
Dogs
true.
hate the mailman.
That's true.
Get with the program.
So does Alex. Or Alex really likes it.
Alex is secretly part dog.
Oh yeah, yeah. Alex plots everyone's doom. If you have ever walked past my place, rest assured Alex has watched you walk across the parking lot or walk across the sidewalk and plotted your demise. He is a monster, and I love him. So yeah, homework. It has to be realistic. This is university after all, so get to work. Your homework
Make sure you have that workbook ready to go.
Exactly. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you do. So, common triggers for my pet and your history. So, you have a spot here to write down your own pet's history, your own pet's triggers. Maybe you were jotting down while we were going along, and you were like, oh my gosh, that trigger? Never thought of that. That's totally it. I had no idea that
could be a trigger.
That could be a trigger. I had no idea that. I'm trying to think of a good one. I had no idea that.
I have a good example.
Here you go.
Tucker is scared of my daughter's ducks that go in the bathtub because when she squirts water out of them, they make a squeaking noise, and he does not like it. Most people would not think that their dog is scared of their child's bathtub ducks, but mine is.
I feel really bad for laughing. Like, I'm
I
really
know, but
trying so
Tucker-
hard not to laugh.
Tucker is a sweetheart. Tucker was here yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Tucker came in to visit. He is just the sweetest soul.
It's very sweet.
But he constantly has this look on his face of, what is happening? Who's there? What's going on? Who's touching me? What's happening? He just looks like he's concerned at all times. In his defense, he is 10 years old, so he's like allowed to kind of be a grumpy old man. But Tucker just looks uptight most of the time. And
I just thought vacuum.
Oh,
That's a
yes.
loud noise that lots of pets are. My cats are terrified of the vacuum, which is unfortunate because they shed a lot and the vacuum is going a lot.
Ace attacks the vacuum. Our Yorkie, instead of running away from the vacuum, he runs at it and is like trying to murder the vacuum.
So Tucker's flight, Ace is fight,
Yes,
and Sam is love.
Sam is asleep
Sam
during
is-
all of this.
Semi-freeze, mostly just asleep.
Asleep. Mine is scared of garbage bags and tinfoil. Oh no! Poor thing.
Oh my gosh. Garbage bags and tinfoil. Well,
Honestly, the only thing Sam doesn't like is when you scrunch up your cans to put them in the recycling. Sam does not like that. He's like, what are you doing? Why did you not give that can to me? Now I'm upset. But that's really all that upsets him. It's anything that beeps, phones, microwaves, alarms.
Oh.
That is Ace. That is Ace. If when the power goes out in our house, when the power comes back on, every single thing in the house beeps, and Ace loses his bananas. It is like doomsday in our house. The world is ending. Everything is crumbling. We're all gonna die. That's what Ace thinks when everything starts beeping in the house. It is. We had to turn off our doorbell sound. So if you ever are at our house and you ring our doorbell, we are not going to know that you are there because we had to turn the sound off. Plastic water bottles too. Oh goodness.
oh no.
So as we're seeing, there are lots of things that you might not think of as a trigger for your dog that is a trigger for your dog.
So
Tomorrow, when we're talking about identifying those triggers, again, we're probably going to talk about Tucker a lot.
yeah, poor guy.
He's just a sad sack. It was calling for thunderstorms today, so, you know.
Well, you know what's happening on Friday, day 3, so you know how to manage.
I know how to manage.
But we won't tell you because we're supposed to keep secrets. So, sorry.
Throw that key away.
Have to wait till Friday.
I'm not here on Friday.
Oh.
You'll have to share. I'll let Lee in on all the secrets of how we manage Tucker's anxiety.
I will relay the information because my cats seem to be fearless of most things except the vacuum. So, we will be working tomorrow with you on some of those stress expressions and how we can identify maybe also some things you didn't know were signs of stress that your dog is exhibiting. We will also be talking about kind of our personal experiences. Bailey will be here tomorrow with me.
I will be.
So we will have some of those right from Bailey without the third party translator on Friday. But yeah, do your homework. It is due tomorrow.
We will be checking.
I'll be checking your work. We'll hand it in. I need it initialed by your parent. No, it's totally voluntary. Hopefully that little section on there is helpful for you, especially if you have a pet maybe with a very long history. Maybe you might need a little bit of extra room, a piece of loose leaf, especially.
We have a customer who comes in here who he was in 6 homes before they adopted him. So that is going to be a long history. That's going to be a lot of stuff to try and figure out what could be causing the stress,
Yep.
what those triggers are.
Yep.
But we are here to help. We are here to try and make sure that our pups and our kitties are just living their absolute best life. We want them to be happy and healthy and all those good things. So we are going to do everything we can to make sure that we talk about all of the pet anxiety.
Claudia says, whoever thought Lee could be scary? Yeah, can you tell my cats boss me around? Yeah, they
Who
do.
just bought a cookbook for their cats for raw food?
Yeah, they manipulate me all the time. I'm very easily manipulated by my cats, to my wallet's dismay. But they deserve it all. My cats deserve the world, really. So, yeah, I hope everyone got something out of today. We were jokey and bubbly and funny as usual.
We're really the comedic duo.
We really are.
Of House of Paws.
Really are.
I would say. We
Yeah.
are pretty hilarious.
We are pretty hilarious.
I know.
So if you want us to be hilarious in person, stop by. We're open Monday to Saturdays, 11 to 6. So we are here till 6 tonight. If you maybe can't wait till Friday to talk about managing your pet's anxiety, maybe your pet is afraid of thunderstorms and you're also worried about tonight's thunderstorm in Regina, Saskatchewan, give us a call, message us on Instagram, or come by in store and we could definitely talk about that with you. We will spill the beans for you, just not on live while Carly's watching,
Yes.
with her notice of firing ready to go.
Already talking about she's gonna fire all of us on Saturday, and we haven't even done anything yet.
Yep.
So we're gonna not spill the beans. That is one less reason for us to get fired. We're gonna hold tight on all of our information in our pocket
Yep.
until tomorrow and Friday, and hopefully everyone tunes in tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Yes, it is.
We will be on again at 2 p.m. and same with Friday. We'll be on at 2 p.m. We will try not to be late. We do our best to be on time.
Yep.
But yeah, identifying tomorrow, managing, and Q&A on Friday. I feel like we have rambled on enough.
Have we?
I mean, probably not, but we should probably hold on to the rest of our information till
We should
tomorrow.
probably let you all go. Thank you so much for spending a Wednesday with us, and we look forward to speaking with everybody again tomorrow for day 2 of Hop University
Yes.
Pet Anxiety. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.